So, this one time, I genuinely thought I was going to dial. Like, no dramatic exaggeration, just pure, gut-wrenching terror that this was it. The worst part? It wasn't some mugging or car crash or anything quick and sharp like you'd expect. It was slow, filthy, and built up over weeks with one of the scariest people I've ever met. I'm going to start from the beginning because you gotta understand the full hell I went through for this to make sense. About a year ago, I moved in with my girlfriend Emily. I thought she was the one at the time, typical stuff, right? We were in love, thought we were going to move out of our ratty apartments and make a real life together. But what I didn't know was that Emily had a massive drug problem that she hid better than a pro. Her sister Beth was even worse, full-blown heroin addict, stealing money from everyone, crashing on people's couches, and generally a walking disaster. One night, after a week of Emily being paranoid, distant, and acting all shady, I found out why. I stumbled upon a secret stash of pills and crack hidden behind her bed. I confronted her, thinking maybe we could get help or something. Nah, she flicked her shit, screamed at me like I was the monster for snooping, called me controlling, said I was trying to ruin her life. Then, out of nowhere, she punched me in the face. That night, things spiraled. Her sister Beth showed up, unannounced, high as a kite, screaming about how Emily owed a dealer thousands of dollars, and they were going to be killed if they didn't pay up tonight. Emily, who was usually so quiet and sweet, turned stone cold. She started violently smashing bottles, threatening me to get the cash or bail. I literally felt my blood run cold when one of her screams went on about how she'd rather burn everything down than pay off those leeches. Long story short, I had no cash, no family nearby. Emily had alienated her own family with her drug crap, and nowhere to run. Beth kept flashing knives and talking about how the worst dealers don't just kill you, they leave you to rot. I was trapped in that apartment, under threat from two women who were on the edge of nuclear meltdown, fueled by drugs and desperation. For 3 days, I stayed in that hellhole, barely sleeping, dodging knives and broken glass. On day 4, Emily left for a drug run, promising to be back soon. Beth went with her, and I was alone for maybe an hour before I heard its sirens. I peeked outside and saw both of them being cuffed in front of the building. Turns out, a neighbor had called 911 after hearing the crazy screaming and threats. That's when I realized if the cops hadn't come, I probably would have been stabbed, beaten, or worse. My whole body was shaking. I had bruises, cuts, half a black eye, and my heart felt like it was going to jump out of my chest at any moment. But here's the kicker. While Emily and Beth were locked up, I found out that Emily had been using me as a mule to stash money for her dealers, and had sold some of my stuff behind my back to pay debts I didn't even know about. I couldn't ended up arrested for their crap. I felt completely used and broken. I moved out the second the cops released me, and I went full scorched earth. Using contacts I'd ignored before, I reported them to the dealer's other victims. Turns out, Emily and Beth had been running a side scam ripping off local junkies to pay off their debts, and several people owed thousands with zero chance to pay. Word spread fast through the underworld. Fast forward a few months, Emily and Beth got sent to prison. Not for the drugs, but for assault, theft, and racketeering. And the dealer who was threatening them? He got pinched months later thanks to my little tipping off. I honestly felt like I'd dodged a bullet and I'd helped bring down a nasty little drug ring in the process. It was hell living through those days, being trapped and fearing for my life. That's when I really believed I was done for. But revenge? Sweet, slow, quiet, and absolutely satisfying. Seeing both of them get locked up and lives destroyed while I got out and rebuilt my life? Priceless. So yeah, that was the time I thought I was gonna die, and somehow I came out on top.